yet?
No, and it's 9 o'clock.
Oh, perhaps she's overslept or she's emigrated.
Oh, it's funny though, Ken. She's usually open just after 8, and they can't both have overslept. Not Bet as well.
Here, let me. Was there anything you wanted desperately? I mean, I could let you have bread.
No, thanks very much, Ken. I'll come back later on my way to work. I was just trying to save time.
Anyway, if they have overslept, I think we'll awaken them by now.
Oh, we should have.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Bet! Bet! Oh, I'm shouting for ages.
Well, I heard you're in Bath.
You're rattling that door for the last half hour.
Oh, let 'em wait. You look dead rotten.
I feel dead rotten.
Have you got a temperature? God, you could fry an egg on it.
I knew we should have got them wet clothes off sooner. I said we should.
Is your throat sore?
Why?
Well, is it?
Oh, you don't think that river were polluted, do you?
No, of course not.
No fish live in it. Must have been all right.
Of course it must. Couple of days in bed, that's all he'll say.
Oh,
Doctor, I'll ring him in a minute.
I'm not getting doctor for an ordinary cold.
Well, you look like death warmed up.
Why ever didn't you take up nursing?
Fancy a cuppa?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Hey, it were a riot though, weren't it? All three of you finishing up in river. I don't know who were more surprised. You, Fred, Mavis, or that fish you caught in his gob.
Didn't, did he?
No.
Oh, it weren't funny though, I could tell you.
I think you only did it to get Alf to give you a kiss of life.
That I had to do with Mavis. Oh, it's no use, I'll have to get
Now,
up.
lady, will you stop where you are? Now, what's wrong with me seeing to things?
But what about Rovers?
Well, I'm not going till later. Now, leave it to your Auntie Bet. Pass us that, will you, love? No, a vest.
Cheeky devil. Who does he think he is?
Oh, stop going on about it, love. He says no and he means no. Anyway, you were the one who didn't want to have a christening in the first place. Thought you'd be pleased about it.
That's not the
now.
point.
Oh, isn't it?
Are you not bothered anymore?
Well, of course I am. I want her to be christened, don't I? But what do we do if the vicar won't oblige? We can't christen her ourselves.
Oh, yeah, great idea.
Oh.
It's not you I'm mad at, love.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
We'll talk about it tonight, all right?
What is there to talk about? He won't do it, and that's that. We may as well forget about the whole thing.
Well, I'll think of something, you'll see.
Oh, like what?
Well, I don't know yet, do I? I'll see you tonight.
Anyway, why are you suddenly agreeing with my mum?
Come again?
Well, yeah. I mean, she wants Tracy to be christened.
I am not going to be told what I can and can't do with my own kid.
Oh, I see. It's not our Tracy, then. It's just your pride.
There's no point in arguing with you.
Hey, hang on a minute. Where will you be if anybody wants you?
3 guesses.
Oh, no. I thought you'd finished at Lens. They're going to be back off their honeymoon before paint's dry.
Yeah, maybe then we can get on with some proper graft. Do some jobs which show a bit of profit.
I shouldn't bother growing up if I were you, Pet. It's when you start growing up, things start getting tricky.
I thought there were no harm in asking.
As much as I'd like to help.
I don't know who else to try.
No, not at this short notice. See, I'm on duty this afternoon. How long does the doctor think she'll be in bed?
Hey, she won't let me ring him. Says she don't want to be a nuisance.
What if the other two are all right?
Oh.
Mavis and Fred.
Don't ask me, love. I've got enough on my hands with this one.
I really am sorry. I can't help.
Oh, well, what's all this then?
I'm afraid you're partly responsible, Alf. Rena's a casualty of your ill-fated fishing trip. Somewhere in that river, there's a shoal of trout or whatever laughing their heads off.
What's she on about?
Rena's in bed with a stinking cold.
Oh, wait, poor Renee. Is she bad?
Well, she looks dead grotty. Still, if you will go round shoving her in rivers.
Well, just see Mavis. She was all right.
Oh, well, she would be, wouldn't she, that Mavis? And she's very deceptive, is Mavis, isn't she? You're half as fragile as she makes out. What do you want, love?
Just a toasty loaf, please.
Look, can you help yourself, Alf? I'll just pop upstairs and tell her I'm off.
Hey, you're not going to lock it shop up, are you?
Well, I'm late enough already, Alf.
Well, Annie will understand in the circumstances.
One of her staff helping out Renee Bradshaw, what got an off licence right from under her very nose, oh, I'm sure she would.
She's going to lose a lot of custom, you know, not to mention goodwill.
That's if she stays put. I bet the minute I've gone, she'll come struggling down here looking like death warmed up.
Oh, heck. Look, I'll stop.
You?
Yeah, well, it won't be first time, would it? I mean, I've plenty of practice when Maggie was here.
Well, I thought you were on nights, aren't you, on your way home?
Oh, not to worry.
You've had no sleep.
Yeah, well, I feel responsible in a way.
Oh. Well, I'll just tell her you're taking over.
Hey, no, I'll go up myself in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
To take her a cup of tea.
I'll believe you, Alf. Thousands wouldn't. Thanks, love. Biscuit?
Oh, Tam. I wasn't going to stop, but I was passing. I thought I'd just pop in and see how you were.
Oh, I'm glad it makes change to have a bit of company.
Yeah.
Fills the morning up.
Do you ever hear anything from Mrs. Caldwell now?
Not all that much.
You must miss her.
Yes, I do. Sugar?
Oh, Tam.
You know what I reckon?
What?
You've not come round here this morning to talk to me about Minnie Caldwell. You've got something on your mind, am I right?
Yeah, yes, I have.
All right, come on, don't keep it to yourself.
Well, it's the vicar. He won't christen our Tracy.
He what?
Well, he says it wouldn't be right because Ray and me aren't churchgoers. I mean, he was very nice about it, but he meant what he said.
Man of his word is the vicar.
I suppose you agree with him, do you, Mrs. Sharples?
Hey, love, with every birthday that passes, I get less and less sure of what's right.
But you always seem very sure. I mean, you... Well, you do.
Do you think the vicar's wrong?
Yes, I do. I mean, it's no skin off his nose, is it? That's his job. That's what he's being paid for.
What does your husband say?
Well, he thinks the same. I mean, he's upset because it's happened to his daughter, and I know how he feels. It's almost as if Tracy's been rejected.
Well, lots of folks as don't have them christened at all these days. More's the pity, but so she wouldn't be on her own.
No, I suppose not.
So what are you going to do?
Well, there's nothing I can do, really, is there?
Have you thought of Mr. Smedley?
Who?
The Reverend Smedley. You know, he married Len Fairclough and Rita Littlewood a week or two ago.
Well, would he say any different?
Well, you never know. You can try.
Well, can you do that? Is it allowed? I mean, it's like shopping round till you get what you want, isn't it?
Oh, well, I suppose there are some folks that look at it like that. But he talks a lot of very good sense, does Mr. Smedley. And at least, I say, you can try.
Oh, it'd be smashing if he would, Mrs. Sharples.
Heck. Can't hear yourself think.
What, oh, Grandma? When are you going back?
Where is she? Where's Deirdre?
I've no idea. I suppose this is a silly question, but did we know you was coming?
No, love, you didn't.
That's what I thought. Day trip, is it?
She got Tracy with her?
Well, unless Tracy's popped out on her own. She did say she might.
Oh, comic. Hey, it's not bad, is it? Is she thrilled with it? I bet she is. Hey, can I have a look around?
Feel free. Sometimes folks do ring up, you know.
Oh, kitchen's lovely. Did you say something?
Yes, I said sometimes folks ring up to say they're coming. It has been known.
Oh, I like doing things on impulse. I know it upsets you. Besides, I wanted to fix up selling my house. It's taken long enough. Oh, that'll be them.
Mum!
Surprise!
Oh.
Surprise! How are you, love?
Great! Hey, why didn't you let us know?
She likes doing things on impulse.
Well, what do you think?
Kitchen's a bit pokey.
Oh, Ma'am.
No, love, it's smashing. Where is she then?
Oh, she's in yard. Leave her a minute.
I want to see my granddaughter. You don't think it's you two I've come to see, do you?
Oh. Hey, listen. I've got something smashing to tell you. I've just been to see Mrs. Sharples.
What about?
Christening.
What's that got to do with her?
Well, nowt. But she says we ought to try the Reverend Smedley. You know him that married Len and Rita. She says they don't all see eye to eye. I mean, it's worth trying if you still want her christened.
Of course he wants her christened. Hey, ain't she coming on, little chuck?
Now, Ma'am, it's got nowt to do with you.
It is if he won't have her christened.
Not me, the vicar.
You what?
Yeah, it's true, Ma'am, but we're trying somebody else.
I never had any trouble having you done.
Oh, Ma'am, it's not an inoculation, you know.
Oh, I must have wakened. I'll go and get her.
No, you don't. You sit down. He'll go. Please, love.
Poor lass. Having you for a grandma.
It's having you as a father will be a biggest handicap.
Well, how are you?
How do I look?
Fine.
I am fine.
Have you fixed a date yet? You and Steve?
No.
Oh, you left it a bit late. I expect you to be wed by now. Changed your minds, haven't you?
Yeah, we have had second thoughts, both of us. Well, we just seem to cool off and... Well, I've been that busy.
Oh,
and
Mum.
better now than later, love.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Actually, I think he's a bit too posh for me.
Do you know, to tell you the truth, I thought that as well.
I'll box your ears in a minute.
Ah, bless her. Now then. Who's come to see you then?
Hey, come on, look. Grub up, I'm starving. Hey, you, Specky Four Eyes, grub up.
I'll go and see him straight after dinner.
Who?
Vicar. Oh, I hope he says yeah. Wouldn't it be smashing if he said yeah?
Well, if he doesn't, he'll have me to contend with. Won't it, Tracy?
Well, nothing really grabs me. They're all pretty ordinary.
I'm surprised that it caused so much interest.
Well, it's not every day you get the chance to name a shop, Mrs. Walker.
It's difficult, actually. It is a bit difficult, but I think you might have done better with your prize, a denim suit, not for me.
What do you mean? It'd be beautiful. Better than anything you get in Savile Row.
Savile Row, never even heard of denim.
Then they're out of date.
Oh, come on, there must be something there you like in
Right,
that
then
lot.
you tell me.
His and Hers, Dude Ranch, Tumbleweed, Pandora's Box.
That was mine, actually. I thought it was rather literary.
Too literary, as a matter of fact.
I only entered the competition as a challenge. I mean, the prize is immaterial.
No, it's denim, actually.
Didn't I read somewhere that denim's on its way out?
Hey, did I ever tell you about that pal of mine, Ted Rigby? 1915. No, I'm telling a lie. It was 1960.
I'll go before big film starts again.
Just listen.
I will. Yes.
There are some days I can put up with your Uncle Kenneth.
And today isn't one of them.
If he talks about that flaming Western Front just once more...
Western Front?
Western, yeah, First World War. You know, the one he practically won on his own.
Western Front.
Your needle's stuck, love.
Western Front. Here, we've cracked it. Wait a minute.
Cracked it.
And that will be able to the aesthetic line here.
Mr. Tatlock.
What do you want?
I've got some good news for you.
Don't tell me he's won the VC posthumously. Sorry, Albert.
You've made me day. How? Western Front. That's the name for the new shop. You've won the competition. I'm going to name the shop the Western Front.
Hey, you look great in a denim suit, Albert.
You will too.
Rini. Rini? I've made you a cup of soup, love. It's only packet.
Oh, I must have dozed off.
Yeah, we'll drink it while it's hot.
What time is it?
It's just gone 1.
Oh, very nice.
Do you fancy hotels?
No.
Right.
Have you managed to get yourself something?
Oh, I got myself a cheese sandwich.
Oh, you've been ever so good, Alf. I'm very grateful.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Thanks, love, but I'm not really very hungry.
You don't feel very well, do you?
No, I'll be all right, honestly.
Listen, I'm going to get the doctor.
No, I'm not as shivery as I was, really.
What's his number?
Now, Luke, I'll be up and down like a 2-year-old by tea time, you'll see.
If I ring him now, I might just catch him.
Oh, you can be bossy, Alf Roberts.
Well, it seems to me you need somebody bossy and all. What's his number?
It's on Padney at phone.
Cash? You mean you want the money instead of the suit?
Well, I don't see why not.
Well, I can't go altering the prize now, Mr. Tatlock.
Right, well, you can't use the name for the shop then. It's as simple as that.
Oh, come on now. Western Front's been around a long time. It's not exactly copyright.
Oh, change your tune, haven't you? Only 5 minutes since, that was the best thing since egg and chips.
The prize is a denim suit.
I'll do a lot for you, Albert, a denim suit. Give you a new image.
Right, you keep out of this, will you? It's between him and me.
Look, Uncle Albert, don't be so ungrateful. You've just won a competition you didn't even enter.
Oh, yes, still, I know how he feels. I mean, I wouldn't want to wear a denim suit myself. Well, speaking personally...
I heard you preferred leather, you cheeky cat.
Look, money or note.
Do you know, Albert, sometimes you have a way of concealing your naturally sunny nature.
You can always flag it, you know, Albert. Good money for denim, somebody will buy it.
Hey, it's funny you should say that, Stanley.
Watch him.
All I was going to say was, you take the suit, Albert, and I'll find a customer for you. For a bit of commission, like.
Look, I can't waste any more time. Come across to the warehouse later, I'll get one of the girls to measure up. If you don't, it's your loss. Like I said, Western Front isn't exactly copyright.
too blooming mean to give me the brush.
You know, you're not really being very fair, Uncle Albert. Boy might be a lot of things, but he's not mean.
You did hear what he said, though, didn't you?
What?
Well, he'd get a girl to measure you, maybe a couple if you play your cards right.
Over my dead body?
Oh, poor Mr. Tatlow. Don't they pull his leg?
Mike won't change his mind, though. He's got to get as much publicity out of this as he can, and he won't do that if he gives Albert cash.
Guess what I've got here?
A tape measure?
Right. It were in the till. We were measuring the windows for curtains only last week. Come here, Albert.
What do you want?
Your measurements.
Save you going over there, won't it?
Look, you stop larking about. Tell him.
Yeah, stop larking about.
Hey, I'm going, I am. Get out of my way!
Betty, get a pencil.
One pencil coming up.
Right. Inside leg.
No, get off now. Get off.
You'll only make it worse for yourself if you start to struggle.
Tired you out, has it?
I often wash up dinner time.
Yeah, I bet. She's wasting her time, you know, going to see this other one.
You reckon?
Yeah, they're like doctors. They all stick together.
Expert on vicars, are we?
It's a fact. Oh, that'll be her now.
Well?
He'll do it.
Oh, that's good. I am glad.
Not to mention Rome.
Oh, he was ever so nice about it. It was just like Mrs. Sharple said. I mean, he wants to have a chat with us first, of course, but he'll do it, and it's smashing. Hey, where you going?
I'm going to tell Tracy.
Oh, I've told her. Honestly, he's that daft with her. He sits and talks to her for hours. It's worse than me.
He'll spoil her, you know, if you're not careful.
Don't spoil it for me, Mum. I'm that chuffed.
So, who have you got in mind, then?
Eh?
Godfathers and godmothers. Well, one godfather and two godmothers.
Oh, I've not thought about that yet. It's going to be very tricky because I don't want to offend anybody.
Are you quite sure, Stanley? Because Rini said no to me about...
Oh, a long time ago. She arranged it with our Hilda.
Oh, right. Hotels?
You know, a tin of them sardines with tomato, you know. I'll make it too.
You've got a good bit there.
I will just put them down. Hilda pay for it, don't worry. I'll do it.
Ah, there's Dan. What's this then? Moonlighting?
No, Rita's a bit off colour, so I'm looking after the shop for her.
Hey, you look all in.
I could do with a sit down.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Hello.
So you come in earnest.
Hard day, love.
Not more than usual. Have you put the potatoes on?
Well, no, not yet, as a matter of fact.
Oh, Ernest, it does save time.
Emily, I just couldn't seem to find any potatoes.
No, I'm sorry, love. It's my fault. I knew there was something I'd forgotten this morning.
Potatoes, is
yes,
it?
Yes, the £5 back, please.
Why, Rini, you've changed a bit in the past 24 hours.
I'm going to put a notice in this window. Rini Bradshaw is in bed with flu, which is why I'm fed up up making cracks.
You've had your hair cut or not?
Oh,
Very
shut
nice.
up.
Emily, could I have a word with you?
What about?
Well, Deirdre was going to speak to you, but, well, seeing as I've seen you, we want you to be a godmother.
A godmother?
To our Tracy.
Oh.
Will you?
Well, I'm very flattered, but it's quite a responsibility. I mean, it's not to be taken on too lightly. Oh, I'd be delighted.
Oh. Hey, how about you, Rini? Will you be to the godmother?
I'll smash your face in, tired or not.
Well, go on then. Buy her a drink.
Well, she deserves it.
Hey, that's nice. That lighter one there.
I wouldn't be seen dead in it.
Oh. Look, all I'm asking you to do is to work for a few photographs. We need it for the publicity. After that, it's up to you what you do with it.
Hey, and you haven't forgotten my little offer, have you?
Have the blue, Albert. It'll match your eyes.
Yeah, or your nose. Sorry, Albert.
Look, I'll be the blooming laughing stock. That's the idea, isn't it? You're taking the mickey out of me just because I'm a pensioner.
Look, how many more times? No one's taken the mickey. We just want a couple of photographs.
My mum's really chuffed as well. We're ever so grateful, Mrs. Sharples.
Well, he could have said no just as easy. Have you decided on your godmothers yet?
No, not finally. Mrs. Sharples.
No, it wouldn't do. No, it wouldn't, would it, love? Not at my age.
Oh, we would have liked you to.
Yes, I know, but I mean, so you want somebody around while she's growing up.
Well, as long as you don't mind.
I'd tell you if I minded.
And you will come to the christening.
Try stopping me. And what about a godfather?
Well, Ken Barlow, I hope. I've not asked him yet. And Emily Bishop said yes.
Oh, well, she'll be all right with them two.
Yeah.
Poor Uncle Albert.
Oh, don't kid yourself. He's loving every minute of it. He's never been so miserable for years. Although, why he can't just stick a pin in and have done with it, I don't know. If he hates all of them, what difference does it make? Now, what do you want, Cock?
Well, it was Ken I wanted, really.
Oh.
Can I have a word, Ken?
Yeah, sure.
I must say it'll be a great relief when Mr. Tatlock makes up his mind. It's becoming rather a bore.
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
And as for the ridiculous horseplay this lunchtime, of which you were the chief instigator...
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
You're a grown woman, Bet, not a schoolgirl.
Yes, Mrs. Walker.
And don't be cheeky.
Well, meet Tracy's godfather.
Really?
I'm very honoured.
What a splendid choice. Do you hear that, Elizabeth? Ken is to be Tracy's godfather.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's 2 down and 1 to go. We want another godmother now.
Yes, put on the thirst down here.
I'm coming.
So you need another godmother, do you, dear?
Well, yeah.
Perhaps you'd like to clear the glasses, would you, Elizabeth?
Yes, certainly.
Well, how can I help you?
Well, we were wondering who to ask, you see. I mean, we would have liked Mrs. Sharples, but she quite understands. I mean, you can't have anybody too old, can you?
How very true, Mary.
Anyway, I just didn't want to embarrass her. I mean, some people don't like to be asked. They don't want the responsibility.
Embarrass her? Who are we talking about, dear?
Oh, Betty. I wondered if she'd like to be Tracy's godmother. What do you think?
I think you'd better ask her yourself. Elizabeth, Deirdre wants you.
Yes, lovey. Well, we'd like you to be godmother, Ray and me.
You're Tracy?
Yeah. Will you?
Oh, Deirdre. I don't know what to say.
Oh, you do look jiggered. I kept hearing shop doorbell go. I'm sorry. Were there any problems?
Well, not apart from having to tell people why I was behind the counter instead of... Oh, there was one little problem. It was all right to let the Augies have credit, wasn't it? Oh, heck. I had my doubts, but I didn't want to wake you again. I seem to have been coming up and down all day asking for stuff.
Do you know the nerve of those flipping Ogdens? I told her no when I came here at first.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. I should have known.
Oh, it's not your fault. I should have told you.
Look, I'll settle up. I'll put it in till.
You'll do nothing of the sort.
Well, I'll feel better if I do.
Oh, Alf, no, you've been great. You really have. Now, are you sure you're all right?
Never mind about me. I want to know what the doctor said. He was only here 2 minutes.
Well, he said it was only a chill.
Oh, well, that's all right then.
He said I have to look after myself. 3 or 4 days in bed, he said, and I should be all right.
3 or 4 days?
Hey, Alf. I wouldn't be in a mess if I hadn't you to look after things for me, wouldn't I?
Your medical queries answered over on Granada Good Life in a few moments when Dr. Chris Steele opens up his surgery in the Good Life Health Guide. Here on Granada Plus, drama and intrigue in Oz and England. Families after the break.
Do something. Chuck, I said don't just sit there.
I'm standing up and I'm doing something. Do you know, I've got 3 draws out of 5 so far, and that's more or less a world record for me.
Oh, not your pools, love. Not now. Come on. Get them wash leathers out. Give them windows a rub over.
Give the what?
The windows. Oh, Mum.
Don't bother me now, love. Now tell me, is this lipstick all right? It's not too pinky, is it? Now go on, tell me if it is.
Well, it is a bit.
Ah, well, blow it. It'll have to do. You're, bringing them back here after, are you?
Yeah, why?
Nothing.
You know what she means, don't you? Now, look, I won't tell you again. Get them wash leathers out and get them windows done.
What for?
What for?
Only a man could ask, and a daft one at that.
2 words out of you and that kid stops where she is.
That kid, as you call her, is being christened today.
That kid is going where I say she's going. And if you're that keen on her christening, get yourselves done. Might get some of that muck off your faces. Aye, when Vicar asks what names, tell him Morecambe and Wise. No, as you were. You're funny enough.
I'll crack him one before the day's out.
Oh, Mum. Now, look, Ray, We've got people coming, and look at them windows.
What's up with them?
Oh, forget it, love. Accept the fact you married a slob.
Oh, aye. I'm a slob, am I? I wouldn't be a slob if I got 8 drawers up, would I?
How many have you got?
4, as it so happens.
Then you're a slob. Where's your wash leather?
Under the sink.
Right. Oh, and he'd let me and all.
Too true, I would.
Me in me frock, and he'd let me wash mucky windows.
Well, what do you think I'm wearing? Me flipping overalls?
I was going to ask, what's that round your neck? A traffic accident?
Look, seeing as I'm the woman of this house and the mother of the child, do you think I could just have 2 words? Just 2?
Yes, love. Go ahead.
Well, I was wondering about what shawl we're going to put on her.
I've given it you.
Well, yeah, I know you've given it me, ma'am, but... Well, Mrs. Sharples went to an awful lot of trouble. I mean, it must have been agony for her knitting that other one. Her eyesight can't be all that good.
Are you saying what I think you're saying? That was your shawl. Your father bought it.
Yeah, I know. Couldn't we use it for the next one?
You what?
Ignore him. Now, look, let me get this straight. You mean you'd rather use a shawl that's been knitted by a neighbour than the one I've given you? I am your mother.
I know you're my mother. That's why I'm asking. I don't mind rowing with you.
Who does?
Shut up, Ray.
Look, I told you to ignore him. It's the only way to treat that one.
If I'd ignored him in the first place, we wouldn't be arguing about the christening shawl now, would we?
Don't be vulgar.
Ah, dear Empect of Weatherfield, it is obvious you are a very kind and considerate fella. By all means, shoot your wife and mother-in-law, because no jury on earth would convict you. Bah, you know what you're talking about, you do.
Pity you didn't ignore the registrar when he asked you to take on that load of rubbish.
Well, fancy seeing a fellow like you in a place like this on a Sunday morning. You should be at home with your family, enjoying yourself.
I couldn't agree more, Mrs. Sharples. Only some of us haven't got families to enjoy ourselves with.
Well, you want to get out and find yourself one. Or is that what you're doing here, putting your feet on the table, eh? Helping her out?
You can't wait to get folk married off, can you? Is that the only time you get a good meal, when you go to wedding receptions?
How is she?
Well, physically, she's not too good. Mentally, she's better off than I am. I mean, all she has to do is lie in that warm bed and not worry. And I don't even know what I can sell on a Sunday.
Oh, it's now but common sense, lad. It's what folks need, like tea and things.
Oh, well, I'm bloody if I can make a detail of it. Anyway, if I go to prison, I won't work these hours. What can I get you?
Quarter of tea.
I should have known. Are you sure this is right?
Well, she's never refused me. And that's the right money.
I'll trust you, Mrs. Sharples. I just wish the other customers were as honest as you are.
Right. We've got some bad luck coming up.
I don't know what your bad luck is, Squire, but you're all right now, because we're here, aren't we, Stanley? And I can't tell a lie, he's first. He opened the door and I nicked in. After you, Your Grace.
Well, it's about my facts.
Oh, yes, Stanley. Can I have some money first?
Well, can't you...
No, I can't. You've had your last penny of the tick off me. Cracking on that Renee said it was all right.
Well, I thought she had.
Well, never mind about all that. Let's just put it down to wishful thinking and leave it at that.
Right.
No, let's not leave it at that, because you owe me the money now. I put the money in the till.
Well, I'll tell him.
Yeah.
I'll tell him. Thanks very much.
Good.
Makes you lose faith in human nature, doesn't it? I mean, he's a nice enough lad, bone idle, but pleasant with it. It's funny, that. Do you know, he'll bend over backwards to get a shilling's worth of tick out of you, and yet he resents every eighth of energy he uses cleaning windows. Now, that is money. It really is the root of all evil. That's what gives me pleasant nature. I haven't got none.
Yeah, can you keep your voice down? I've got a terrible headache.
Say no more, Squire. I'll come and get what I came for and be on my way.
Oh, well, I'll have to weigh those. We sell them by the pound.
Well, no point, is there? You're only going upstairs. You know, for the invalid who owns the place. Bring money into it, we'll only confuse ourselves, won't we?
Could I have some aspirins, please?
I'll tell you what, love. You find them, and we'll go halves.
Now, isn't this nice? Do you know, you're the first to bring me so much as a good wish.
There's not enough consideration in this world.
No, you're quite right. And you without witness to rub together and all. Now, listen. I'm not letting you spend your social security on bananas for me. Now, how much were they? 20p?
No.
No, now I'd feel much better if you did.
Yeah, but
Now, listen. I won't tell us all. Come on.
Oh. Well, if it makes you feel better.
Yes, right. Well, it does. Now, what's going on in the outside world?
Now, let me see.
I'd ask Alf, only poor lad is rushed off his feet.
Hey, don't knock him. He's better than nothing.
I know he is. And I'm very grateful.
And so you should be. Now, let me see. Liverpool got beat, but then so did Everton, so that's all right. The Langton's baby's being christened today.
Hey, is it today?
As ever was. Do you know, I'm surprised he didn't have me for a godfather.
Oh, come on.
Well, who's nearer the mafia than me?
Here, have a banana.
Oh, sir.
As a matter of fact, you know, I'm not all that keen on bananas. Go on, you can act that.
Oh.
Right.
I'll go and get her.
No, you don't. That baby stops where she is until the taxi comes.
Deirdre, she's crying.
Yeah, it's an habit babies have.
Now watch it. You've been very good, the pair of you. We haven't had a single snarl for at least an hour. Let's keep it that way. Mother, don't let me have to tell you again. She stays where she is. And don't get at him.
When is the taxi coming, Raymond?
Well, mother-in-law, remembering what you once said about us not chucking us money around, I've decided not to bother with the taxi. We're going in the van.
We are not. Me in these clothes?
Mother.
You're not getting me in any van.
Mother, he's having you on. Oh, Tracy. Come down here and talk a bit of sense to your mother. Nobody else can.
Hey, it's one of the babbies that haven't changed these days, bless 'em. And they lose their innocence of sight sooner than they did.
That's the inexorable march of progress.
Ah, I don't call it progress. You know, when I was a girl, a christening was a celebration. All the congregation were there, watching and sharing in it. These days, they sneak in and they sneak out. I wonder they don't lock the church door behind them.
Well, I wouldn't dare do that to you.
By gum, they wouldn't. Hey, which one do I wear?
You're asking?
Ah, go on, put me out of my misery.
Well, that one, without any shadow of doubt.
What, my wedding hat? Oh, well, it was me that said it was a celebration, didn't I? I don't remember much about my own christening, but I was told about it. The church was full to busting. All my relatives come, both sides. I had an aunt and uncle who come from Cleethorpes, and that wanted something doing the other days, I'll tell you. And the presents. Oh, my mum said she couldn't see the sideboard for presents.
Oh, which reminds me, I want to give little Langton something.
Of course you should, you're a godfather.
It's a very special something that was given to me. A silver rattle. A very elegant silver rattle.
You mean mine, the one Mrs. Haslam gave me?
That's the one.
I see. Well, let me set you straight on one count. I didn't give that rattle to you. I gave it to your two children. So, strictly speaking, it isn't yours to give.
It's still here.
Yes, I suppose it is. It isn't something you can break into, is it? Aye, go on. Things were meant to be used, and I never was one for ornaments anyway.
Good.
And it's a very nice thought at that. And there's not many of them to the pound these days.
Betty? What? Don't forget names. Roxina Bernadette.
Oh, well, Roxina Bernadette, you lady.
Oh, hello. No one told me about any royal visit.
We didn't want to make too much fuss.
She thought I meant it.
Yes, well, we're like that up north. We believe out anybody tells us.
Hello, darling. Still writing for Mike and Bernie, are we? Where's the little fellow with the flat cap?
Is that his denim suit, then?
Yeah. Could have put the brigade of guards under canvas with the stuff I've used in this. Ah, there he is. The man of the moment.
Is that my prize?
Yeah.
Right, give it here.
Not till we've had our pound of flesh. Or in your case, half a ton.
Oh, it's a flaming cheeky.
I'm sorry, Albert. It's the excitement of the moment. Look, I've got a couple of press photographers coming at 2:15. I thought a couple of shots of you outside your house with a couple of nice dolly birds, you know.
Yeah, well, you can think again.
Now, Albert.
I've said you can think again. I've seen them things.
Yeah, but you haven't changed your mind, eh? I mean, you're still going to wear it. I mean, it's a work of art. Look.
Yeah, but that's love of wearing it down for cleaning up. And I'm not having any pictures taken outside either.
There's a bottle of rum goes with it.
Go on, Albert, be a devil.
Albert! Come through to the back and put it on, love. I can't wait.
I think it's them.
Well, hello again, Mrs. Langton, and how are you?
Very well, thanks.
And this is
Tracy Lynette.
Tracy Lynette. Well, shall we get inside and wet her head for a change?
Oh, okay, that's it. Oh, yeah. Come on, then. Yes, come on. Dear.
children to be baptized must affirm their allegiance to Christ and their rejection of all that is evil. It is your duty to bring up this child to fight against evil and to follow Christ. Therefore I ask, do you turn to Christ?
I turn to Christ.
Do you repent your sins?
I repent of my sins.
Do you renounce evil?
I renounce evil.
You have brought this child to baptism. You stand in the presence of God and his church. You must now make the Christian profession in which she is to be baptized and in which you will bring her up. Do you believe and trust in God the Father who made the world?
I believe and trust in him.
Do you believe and trust in his Son Jesus Christ who redeemed mankind?
I believe and trust in him.
Do you believe and trust in his Holy Spirit who sanctifies the people of God?
I believe and trust in him.
You know, I could do with church if they won't get you saying all them things you can't credit.
Yeah, it's hypocrisy, innit?
No, I meant every word.
Oh, I mean about saying things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of it about. I mean, you take Walton. Every cold snap, that prison chapel would be full. There'd be every villain in Merseyside there, coming out with the Ten Commandments. Get back to the cell, they'd be nicking the hairs out your comb. Mind you, some of it was good. What is thy duty towards thy neighbour? My duty towards my neighbour is to love him as myself, and do to all men as I would they should do unto me. To love, honour and obey my father and mother, and obey and honour the Queen and all who are put in authority under her. To submit myself to
Where'd you learn all that?
Well, it's the catechism, innit? I was confirmed.
Confirmed?
Yeah, well, it was something to do 1 January.
Obey the Queen and all that are put in authority under her. Yeah, well, Sir Robert Mark that's put in authority under her, mate, and the rest of all the coppers.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's Hippocratic, innit?
See, you've upset him now. Big churchgoer is Mr. Baldwin.
Flaming Nora.
I look a right twerp.
Albert, you look lovely now. Come on through and let's have a proper look at you.
Come on now.
Thought you told me you were going to get rid of all this lot.
Now, have you tried getting rid of Stan and Eddie at closing time? Any road you deserve an audience. Have you seen yourself?
Yeah, whose idea were it, any road?
Albert, believe you me, we're on a winner. Look, we'll have the photos taken in here, all right, behind closed doors. Just you and a couple of dolly birds.
Oh, he doesn't want us.
Yeah, you can get in the picture if you like, but don't take the mickey.
As if we would.
Can I have a suit like that?
Go on, pretend you think you're sexy.
What do you mean? Pretend.
Go on, man.
I just brought you a cup of tea.
What time is it?
About 2:15.
Oh, have you ordered any yet?
Yeah, well, I got what I wanted.
Oh, oh, you start. Folk will be thinking things.
They will, won't they?
What's happening?
No, I think they've all gone to christening.
Oh, yeah, little love. Hey, I hope they dry her off properly. We don't want her catching cold.
No, we don't.
Name this child.
Tracy Lynette.
Tracy Lynette. I baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. I sign you with the sign of the cross.
To show that you must not be ashamed to confess the faith of Christ crucified, and manfully to fight under his banner against sin, the world, and the devil, and to continue Christ's faithful soldier and servant unto your life's end.
I suppose you know this is a day of rest.
Yeah, sorry, Alf. A quick bottle of plonk, OK?
You have to find it yourself.
I can do.
How'd it go this afternoon? Any eruptions?
No more than usual, no. No, I think one could say it went rather well, actually. Oh, and this, by the way, is for a do at Ray's at 7 o'clock, to which I am instructed you are cordially invited.
Oh, well, that's very nice of him, Ken, but, well, I've got to get myself to work at 10 o'clock, and I don't much feel like parties anyway.
Yeah, you sound a bit rough.
I feel a bit rough and all.
Oh, there we are.
so-
That's right. And there.
Anyway, tell him, will you?
Yes, I will, and look after yourself.
Well, I fall down there and all, don't I? I'm supposed to be looking after Reenie.
Oh, yes, of course, she's laid up, too. Look, is there anything I can do? Oh, Emily, I'm sure she wouldn't mind me volunteering her services.
I'm just enjoying a bit of bad health, you know. Yeah. No, I made her a bit of tea, and I'll take it up to get my head down for half an hour in the chair and then take myself off to work. And don't worry, I've got some good mates. I won't overdo things.
Yeah, we'll see that you don't.
Oh, what's that, by the way? I might as well tell Reenie what I've been selling. If I don't blow my own trumpet, nobody else will.
Absolutely, yes. It's Burgoyne past 2 grand. Burgoyne past 2 grand.
I won't bother.
Right. That does it. Come on, get in here.
What are you doing?
I'm getting out of this to let you get in. Now, come on, get your clothes off and get in there.
Likely, I'm all right.
You're not all right. You're as all right as my Aunt Peg. Now then, do as you're told. Get in there. And if you say it's not healthy, then neither are you.
Right, salmon sandwiches in my left hand and ham in my right.
lovely.
Deirdre, you've not put the plates round, love.
Oh, sorry.
Plates, they won't be outside me that long.
Oh, Ernest, don't be such a pig.
I'm not being a pig, I'm hungry. Anyway, this is a party and people behave like this at parties.
Not at listening parties, you don't. You behave yourself.
And you make speeches. Now, come on, Ken.
What, me? Oh, no,
Yes, come on.
not me. No, if anybody's going to make a speech tonight, it's Mrs. Sharples.
Hey.
I mean, how could I compete with such experience?
I'm making no speeches tonight. Well, give us one of your poems then, lovey. There's an idea. Yes,
Poems?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I only know one that's suitable for this sort of an occasion, and it's not very cheerful. Well, come to think of it, it would fit with 1 or 2 families round here, though thankfully not this one. That welcome little bonny brid, but shouldn't have come, just went I did, 'cause times is bad. We short of puppies for our Joe, but that, of course, they wouldn't know, would still lad. But though we're children 2 or 3, we's find a bit of room for thee, bless the lad. The prettiest brid we got it nest, so watch up closer to me breast. I'll be dad.
Oh, dear Lord.
Don't fight anybody that says I'm not.
Ah, little thing.
No.
Isn't it lovely?
Brought you a cup of tea.
Oh, what time is it?
About 7:30.
7:30? Hey, you were right. I went out like a light.
Yeah, well, there's a cup of tea and a couple of aspirins. Try and repeat the performance.
Hey, just answer me one question. What the heck am I doing in here?
Do you know, that's a question somebody else might ask and all. What is this widower doing in this unmarried lady's bed, they might say?
What do I tell them?
Well, you tell them the truth. You tell them exactly what I told that friend of yours.
Oh, did he get on to?
Oh, Jeff somebody or other.
Jeff Turnbull. Oh, he got a right one there. He's got a vivid imagination.
Oh, well, has he? Well, if that's what he thinks, why bother? Come on, up.
Hey, up!
You see? You said to me, you said, oh, you're not scared, love. I said scared. If there's anybody scared there, it's certainly not me. Get to sleep.
Hey, you're getting very mellow in your old age.
Well, I'm a dad now, aren't I?
You're a husband as well, remember?
Oh, forget about that. You've had it now.
Oh, don't joke about it. They said that's what happens.
Yeah, well, there are some pretty horrific forecasts, I grant you. I mean, what is it the prophets of doom say? That Tracy, by the time she's 25, will have to spend £200 on a pound of butter. Can't see it myself. I think it'll end before then.
That's probably precisely what the Germans said. Look what happened to them. It took a big suitcase to carry enough money to buy a loaf of bread.
Yes, and look at them now. Well, maybe by the time Tracy's 25, we'll be as prosperous as they are.
I wish I could think so.
Oh, what's it matter? It's being happy that counts. If you read the blooming newspapers, you'd expect to find us all sitting in corners, scracking his eyes out. Look at us.
Yeah, I quite agree. And to prove your point, Mrs. Sharples, here comes another happy victim.
All in order, Mrs. Walker. Fred's holding the fort. Right then, what do I wet baby's head with? Are you asleep, love? Don't strain yourself. Well, if it's any consolation to you, miss, now. All I got were a couple of glasses of warm lager and a curly ham sandwich. Still, I did get to old baby, which I suppose is as near as I'll ever get. Can't wait to get undressed and get into my bed. I'll tell you something. I'm going to take it easy on that Pernod. It has some very funny side effects. I had a couple while Annie were out at way. Do you know, I even started fancying Fred. Hey, do you reckon he's still awake? Do you reckon if I went and threw pebbles up at his window, he'd get out of bed? I'm talking of fancying, Miss Bradshaw. How are you making out with Loverboy? He made a grab for you yet? Because don't worry, he will. I've seen that look in his eye and he's up to no good. He's not just here to play shopping, Alf. Why don't you just tell him you fancy him? I mean, don't just tell me. Oh, please yourself. Give him a couple of days, and if he don't make a grab, get rid. But if your Auntie Bet knows out, he will. Do you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll put my black negligee on and my high-heeled slippers, nip down back entry and throw stones at Fred's window. You never know your luck.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing there?
I live here.
You live in there? Who?
It's Alf, do you not know?
Alf?
Hello.
It's a bit late for flaming hellos. Why didn't you say something?
You never give me a chance.
I gave you every flaming chance. What's he doing in there?
Too poorly.
That's not all he could have took, neither. Hell's bells.
What's up?
I'm just remembering some of the things I said.
I have not forgotten them neither.
It's time to make an appointment with the surgeon over on Granada Good Life now. Here on Granada Plus, stay with us for a spot of Anglo-Antipodean intrigue in families.